Black celebrities who underwent gender transition. Born a man, but destined to become a woman Hollywood could never forget. What if the legendary icons who shaped your favorite music and television eras were hiding a secret that could have destroyed their careers? In an age of fierce prejudice, these trailblazers chose radical authenticity over public approval, shattering barriers on their own terms. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on the untold stories of 13 revolutionary figures who conquered the mainstream while living their absolute truth. If you love discovering the deep, hidden histories of the entertainment world, smash that like button right now. Welcome to the Remembered Lives channel. Subscribe immediately and drop your initial guesses in the comments below before we reveal the legends. Jackie Shane. Imagine commanding a packed theater, your velvet vocals melting over an R&B bass line while holding a secret that could instantly destroy your existence. In the early 1960s, a striking performer emerged from the shadows of rigid gender norms to completely redefine the Canadian music landscape. This mesmerizing individual was Jackie Shane, an extraordinary soul pioneer who chose total authenticity long before the modern world established a vocabulary for her truth. Moving from Nashville to Toronto, she fronted Frank Motley's band and shook the industry to its core when her brilliant 1962 single, Any Other Way, skyrocketed to the #2 spot on the regional Chum charts. On stage, she was an absolute force of nature, sporting pristine makeup, glamorous outfits, and an untouchable aura that left conservative crowds utterly breathless. Instead of hiding, she utilized her unmatched stage presence as a radical political statement. Her live performances at the historic Sapphire Tavern became legendary, drawing massive, diverse audiences who were captivated by her flawless style. Even when the single hit number 124 on Billboard's U.S. Bubbling Under chart, she refused to play the industry's compromising games. When the pressure of a heavily prejudiced society grew too intense, she chose absolute silence over public conformity, completely vanishing from the entertainment scene in 1971. For over 4 decades, fans wondered where this enigmatic pioneer had gone, until a spectacular 2017 archival box set reawakened the world to her unmatched greatness. Her profound musical contributions culminated in a historic, well-deserved Grammy nomination in 2019, shortly before she passed away at age 78. Jackie proved that true artistic brilliance can never be erased by time. T.S. Madison. When you strip away the polished expectations of mainstream television, you find a revolutionary spirit fueled by unapologetic self-determination. T.S. Madison completely shattered systemic glass ceilings, not by asking for permission, but by wielding her digital influence like a weapon of mass empowerment. Born in 1977 under a different identity, she navigated a deeply religious Miami upbringing that ultimately cast her out into the cold reality of teenage homelessness. To survive a harsh world that offered zero safety nets for Black trans youth, she boldly stepped into adult entertainment, strategically turning a means of basic survival into an independent financial empire. This self-made stability funded her medical transition in her early 20s, laying the groundwork for an unprecedented cultural takeover. By 2013, her explosive, raw, and fiercely comedic personality conquered the internet via viral Vine videos, introducing global audiences to a level of unfiltered transparency they had never witnessed before. The momentum was completely unstoppable. In 2021, she made monumental television history as the very first Black transgender woman to star in and executive produce her own major reality docuseries, The T.S. Madison Experience, on WE-tv. Her unmistakable booming voice reached ultimate creative heights when global icon Beyoncé sampled her legendary "Bitch, I'm Black" speech on the track Cozy from the Grammy-winning masterpiece Renaissance. This landmark collaboration earned Madison a formal Grammy certificate and propelled her straight onto the Billboard Hot 100 at number 30. From starring in acclaimed cinema like Zola to demanding structural accountability for the LGBTQ+ collective, she remains an absolute blueprint of resilient, self-authorized stardom. Isis King. True courage is standing completely exposed in the unforgiving spotlight of national television, while the entire world debates your right to exist. In 2008, Isis King walked directly into cultural history by becoming the very first openly transgender contestant to compete on the mega-hit reality competition America's Next Top Model during its groundbreaking 11th cycle. Long before her historic interaction with supermodel Tyra Banks, she was a quiet youth navigating intense identity confusion within Prince George's County, Maryland. Her vulnerable journey of self-discovery led to deep familial alienation, forcing her to seek refuge at New York City's Ali Forney Center for Displaced LGBTQ+ youth. Living in a crowded homeless shelter, she spent 7 years honing her flawless runway walk within the competitive underground ballroom circuit. Her life altered forever when she was spotted during a background photo shoot for the show's 10th season, paving a direct path to her official Cycle 11 casting at age 22. Despite facing severe prejudice from fellow contestants, her undeniable elegance earned her a prominent 10th-place finish and sparked vital global conversations. Her transition process was beautifully validated when the Tyra Banks Show stepped forward to sponsor her gender confirmation surgery in 2009. Returning with immense grace for the high-profile All-Stars edition in 2011, she effortlessly converted reality television fame into a lasting, respectable acting career. Her powerful, multidimensional dramatic portrayals in Ava DuVernay's Emmy-winning masterpiece When They See Us and the hit series With Love successfully steered far away from toxic Hollywood cliches. Today, she utilizes her global platform to uplift homeless youth, serving as a bright beacon of transformation. Janet Mock. When silence is imposed upon your childhood, speaking up becomes a monumental act of survival. Janet Mock altered the cultural landscape of literary journalism by transforming her private vulnerabilities into a universal anthem for marginalized communities. Born in Honolulu, Hawaii in 1983, under a name that masked her true self, she recognized her feminine essence at just 4 years old. Navigating a turbulent, multiracial, working-class upbringing marked by structural instability and profound isolation, she quietly initiated her medical transition during high school before turning 18. Lacking commercial safety nets, she relied on transactional adult survival work to independently fund her gender confirmation surgery in Thailand, an experience she would later unpack with raw, majestic vulnerability. Instead of letting adversity define her limits, she relentlessly pursued higher education, securing a master's degree in journalism from New York University and climbing the ranks to become a prominent editor at People magazine. In 2011, she shattered media walls by sharing her journey openly in Marie Claire, establishing herself as an essential voice for transgender advocacy. Her literary breakthrough arrived in 2014 with her critically acclaimed New York Times best-selling memoir, Redefining Realness, which sold tens of thousands of copies and shifted public perceptions permanently. Her structural impact reached peak history-making heights in 2018 when Ryan Murphy selected her as a writer, director, and producer for FX's masterpiece, Pose, making her the first trans woman of color to helm a major television episode. Honored as one of Time magazine's 100 most influential people, her legacy stands as a glorious testament to self-actualization. Erin Rose Phillip. Structural exclusion within the elite fashion industry collapses when confronted with an unyielding wave of intersectional genius. Erin Rose Phillip did not merely knock on the doors of haute couture. She completely rebuilt the runway to include identities the elite world had deliberately chosen to overlook. Born in Antigua in 2001 and diagnosed with quadriplegic cerebral palsy as an infant, she spent her early years moving through a physical landscape built entirely for the non-disabled. After relocating to the Bronx at age 3, She simultaneously navigated her medical reality while quietly aligning with her true gender identity, officially coming out as a trans teenager at 14. Her historic breakthrough shook the fashion universe in 2018 when she became the absolute first Black, transgender, and physically disabled fashion model to be signed by a powerhouse agency, Elite Model Management, at just 17 years old. From that pivotal moment, her meteoric rise completely redefined global beauty standards. She made major waves closing shows for Willie Norris, modeling for luxury giant Moschino's fall/winter campaign, and fronting global advertisements for Marc Jacobs, Sephora, and Nike. The ultimate industry validation arrived in 2023 when she graced the historic cover of British Vogue, solidifying her status as an international fashion vanguard. Beyond the runway, her brilliant 2016 memoir, This Kid Can Fly, chronicled her spectacular journey, proving that true elegance operates completely independent of systemic physical limitations. Jari Jones. True artistic power is refusing to compress your multidimensional identity into a convenient, digestible box for mainstream comfort. Jari Jones stands as an unshakable, monumental force in contemporary fashion, demanding absolute space for the intersection of Blackness, transness, and body diversity. Born in 1991 in New York City and influenced by her grandfather, pioneering fashion model Billy Jones, she pursued performance arts during her college years. It was during this creative academic period that she initiated her social transition, beautifully moving forward alongside her best friend and future wife, Corey Kempster, in a rare display of parallel queer romance and collective healing. Her professional career reached an iconic peak in 2020, when she became the official face of Calvin Klein's Global Pride campaign, resulting in a massive, breathtaking billboard in downtown Manhattan that captivated millions of onlookers. As an Afro-Filipina, plus-sized trailblazer, she proudly converted that viral visual representation into a long-lasting cinematic footprint. She shattered independent film barriers at the Cannes Film Festival as a cast member, script consultant, and producer for the acclaimed drama Port Authority. Her acting versatility expanded through compelling roles in trailblazing series like Transparent, Tales of the City, and Pose, while also lending her voice as Marshmallow on the hit animated show Bob's Burgers. Partnering with global institutions like GLAAD and the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, she continuously converts public visibility into structural justice. Yasmin Finney. True cultural evolution occurs when youth visibility shifts from a defensive struggle into a vibrant celebration of global influence. Yasmin Finney completely redefined the modern landscape of British television by stepping into the international spotlight before she even reached her 20th birthday. Born in Manchester, England in 2003, she experienced a childhood marked by systemic intersectional hardships, navigating intense academic bullying and a strained familial relationship while coming out as a trans teenager. Finding zero refuge in her immediate physical surroundings, she courageously claimed her space on TikTok, documenting her unique experiences as a Black trans woman with a brilliant mix of unfiltered honesty, sharp wit, and magnetic charisma that quickly generated over 23 million video views. This grassroots digital stardom directly translated into historic mainstream entertainment success. In 2022, she landed her explosive breakout role as Elle Argent in Netflix's globally acclaimed teen drama Heartstopper. Her beautifully nuanced, emotionally resonant performance shattered decades of toxic television cliches, earning her a well-deserved nomination at the 2023 Children's and Family Emmy Awards and cementing her status as a global teenage icon. Her historic momentum hit absolute warp speed when legendary showrunner Russell T Davies cast her as Rose Noble in the 60th anniversary specials of the iconic sci-fi franchise Doctor Who, a monumental milestone watched by over 7 million viewers in the UK alone. Gracing the covers of Elle and Vogue, she effortlessly bridges the gap between internet culture and elite performance art, proving that true authenticity requires zero validation from outdated institutions. Eva Reign. For generations, the stories of transgender women in Hollywood were restricted to dark tragedies, clinical medical documentaries, or cheap punchlines. Eva Reign completely dismantled this archaic paradigm by stepping forward as the leading lady the modern cinematic universe desperately needed. Born in St. Louis, Missouri in 1996, she developed her artistic resilience against the backdrop of a highly conservative Midwestern upbringing. Navigating her teenage gender transition with minimal familial support, she turned to the written word as both an intellectual shield and a creative sanctuary, eventually relocating to New York City to pursue elite journalism. Her immense writerly talent quickly flourished, earning her a prominent fellowship at Condé Nast's LGBTQ+ vertical, Them, where her sharp, culturally vital essays on Black queer beauty caught the attention of major industry powerhouses. Her artistic trajectory reached an unprecedented historic peak in 2022 when she was cast as Kelsa in the Amazon Prime Video original Anything's Possible, a vibrant high school romantic comedy directed by Emmy winner Billy Porter. Stepping into this leading role, she made history by anchoring a studio-backed romantic feature that dared to showcase a trans girl experiencing joy, romance, and teenage milestones without trauma. Beyond her silver screen triumph, her brilliant reporting on Vice News' docuseries Transnational earned her both a prestigious Peabody Award and a GLAAD Media Award, cementing her status as an intellectual titan who commands both the newsroom and the box office. Angelica Ross. True power is not merely surviving a broken system. It is building entirely new economic infrastructures to ensure those who come after you never have to suffer the same fate. Angelica Ross stands as a towering, multi-hyphenate force who conquered the worlds of technology, television, and live theater through sheer brilliance. Born in Kenosha, Wisconsin in 1980, her early journey towards self-actualization came at an immense cost, leading to severe family rejection, a traumatic suicide attempt, and an early discharge from the U.S. Navy under the discriminatory "don't ask, don't tell" policy. Refusing to let institutional cruelty dictate her path, she taught herself complex computer programming languages and founded Trans Tech Social Enterprises in 2014, a revolutionary nonprofit that has provided vital digital training and employment opportunities to thousands of marginalized individuals. While independently running her tech empire, her undeniable performing arts talent exploded onto mainstream television. In 2018, she captivated global audiences as Candy Ferocity in FX's historic drama Pose, delivering a raw, heartbreaking performance that critics hailed as the emotional anchor of the entire series. Showrunner Ryan Murphy immediately recognized her unique genius, casting her in multiple seasons of the blockbuster anthology American Horror Story, making her one of the very first transgender actresses to secure consecutive recurring roles in a major television franchise. She shattered yet another historic ceiling in 2022 when she made her spectacular Broadway debut as Roxy Hart in the legendary musical Chicago, proving that whether she is writing code or commanding a Broadway stage, her brilliant presence is a non-negotiable movement toward true structural liberation. Indya Moore. True artistic rebellion is refusing to allow your humanity to be reduced to a corporate checkbox or a rigid societal label. Indya Moore emerged from the rugged urban landscape of the Bronx to completely disrupt the global modeling and entertainment industries with their ethereal, unyielding presence. Born in 1995, they entered the chaotic New York foster care system at just 14 years old to escape relentless domestic transphobia, navigating all 5 boroughs while independently pursuing their education and basic survival. Identifying as transgender and non-binary, while embracing both she and they pronouns, they utilized their striking fluid beauty to break into high fashion at 15, swiftly booking prestigious global campaigns for luxury icons like Gucci and Dior. Their subterranean creative momentum completely exploded into the mainstream in 2018 with their historic casting as Angel Evangelista in FX's landmark drama, Pose. Delivering a performance of sublime tenderness and fierce resilience, they perfectly captured the bittersweet reality of a ballroom star and sex worker fighting for true romance in the shadow of the HIV/AIDS crisis. The historic cultural impact was immediate and profound. In 2019, they made monumental media history as the first openly transgender person to grace the cover of Elle USA, while simultaneously being named one of Time magazine's 100 most influential people in the world. Beyond their glamorous screen triumphs, they established Beetlefruit Media to independently produce marginalized narratives, while using their massive digital platform to fund direct mutual aid for vulnerable queer youth. Their beautiful personal journey reached a joyful milestone in March 2025 when they publicly shared their engagement to visionary artist Elias Okivo, proving that they live and love entirely on their own radical terms. Laverne Cox. When the history of modern civil rights is written, one singular name will forever stand as the definitive catalyst for transgender visibility in global media. Laverne Cox did not just open doors for the community, she constructed an entirely new cultural highway through sheer intellectual brilliance and masterful dramatic execution. Born in Mobile, Alabama in 1972, she survived severe childhood bullying and a devastating suicide attempt at age 11 before finding her creative sanctuary in classical dance and performance arts, eventually earning her degree from Marymount Manhattan College. She initiated her medical transition in the vibrant, artistic haven of New York City during the late 1990s, quietly honing her craft on independent stages for over a decade before destiny called. That definitive moment arrived in 2013 when she stepped onto the screen as Sophia Bursette in Netflix's monumental prison dramedy, Orange is the New Black. Her breathtaking, multi-layered portrayal of an incarcerated trans mother completely captivated global audiences, earning her an historic Primetime Emmy nomination in 2014, the first openly transgender person ever nominated in an acting category since the Academy's inception. Seizing that unprecedented spotlight, she graced the historic June 2014 cover of Time magazine for the legendary Transgender Tipping Point feature, fundamentally shifting political discourse across the globe. She solidified her industry dominance by winning a Daytime Emmy Award in 2015 as the executive producer of the groundbreaking documentary The T Word, followed by an acclaimed performance in the Oscar-winning thriller Promising Young Woman. Surviving a violent, targeted transphobic assault in Los Angeles in 2020, she refused to retreat, continuing to use her iconic voice to dismantle systemic prejudice while serving as a timeless, majestic blueprint for self-actualized stardom. Amiyah Scott. True structural elevation is born when a self-made icon translates underground cultural excellence into a historic, mainstream phenomenon. Amiyah Scott completely bypassed traditional Hollywood talent pipelines by leveraging her organic digital presence to shatter primetime broadcasting boundaries. Born in Manhattan in 1988 and raised within the vibrant culture of New Orleans, she initiated her medical transition at 17, courageously navigating the socially conservative landscape of the Deep South with an unshakable sense of self-worth. Seeking community and self-expression, she immersed herself in the legendary underground ballroom circuit, quickly rising to prominence as an elite, highly celebrated beauty and fashion authority long before modern social media algorithms dominated the cultural conversation. Her massive grassroots digital footprint caught the immediate attention of major television executives, leading to her historic casting in 2015 as the first openly transgender woman on Bravo's reality powerhouse, The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Though she walked away from the production after one season due to structural concerns regarding the framing of her identity, her uncompromising integrity paved the way for an even greater artistic milestone. In 2016, legendary Hollywood creator Lee Daniels specifically cast her in his hit Fox musical drama series, Star, as Cotton Brown. This historic casting marked the very first time an openly transgender black woman portrayed a recurring, major trans character on a prime-time network television broadcast, reaching millions of households weekly. Delivering a deeply emotional performance that explored complex themes of familial reconciliation, she proved that true glamour is most potent when anchored by absolute, unyielding truth. Dominique Jackson. True royalty is not inherited. It is meticulously forged through the fire of survival, displacement, and an unyielding commitment to personal dignity. Dominique Jackson stands as an international artistic monument, commanding the spaces of high fashion, literary memoir, and peak television drama with an unmatched, regal authority. Born in Scarborough, Tobago in 1975, her early childhood was deeply fractured by severe institutional trauma, which ultimately drove her to flee to the United States alone at age 15, without legal status or familial protection. Facing the harsh realities of urban homelessness and transactional survival sex work in New York City, she found a life-saving sanctuary within the competitive underground ballroom scene, eventually rising to absolute royalty as a legendary house mother within the House of Sinclair and the House of Jackson. Her decades of subterranean resilience culminated in a spectacular, late-career mainstream explosion that forever altered the entertainment landscape. In 2018, she captivated global television audiences as the brilliantly sharp, deeply complex house mother Electra Abundance in FX's award-winning masterpiece, Pose, delivering some of the most iconic, widely quoted dramatic monologues in modern television history. Her immense, statuesque physical beauty simultaneously took the elite fashion world by storm. She made history walking the high fashion runways of Mugler and Tommy Hilfiger, while fronting major global cosmetic and apparel campaigns for Sephora, H&M, and Christian Siriano. Laying bare her extraordinary journey from an undocumented immigrant to a cultural icon in her acclaimed 2014 autobiography, The Transsexual from Tobago, she remains a brilliant, living testament that the most breathtaking crowns are those earned through radical self-preservation. 13 Extraordinary Women. 13 unforgettable legacies of survival, brilliance, and transformative courage. From the underground ballroom circuits to the heights of primetime television and global runways, these icons fundamentally reshaped how the world views identity. But as we celebrate their historic triumphs, a crucial question remains for all of us. Should a celebrity's private gender history belong to the public conversation, or should it remain strictly confidential? Let your voice be heard and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching the Remembered Lives channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the powerful, hidden histories of the stars you thought you knew.